Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is Nikki and I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. The March 21st Marvel Snap update is here and we got quite a few patch notes to go over, so let's get into it. But of course, before we do that, make sure you leave a thumbs up on the video and remember to snap that subscribe button. Alright, we got some patch notes. Please update the game if you haven't already. Let's take a look at these highlights. More tokens. If you haven't finished Series 3, you will earn 4 times more tokens than before. Pretty cool. I just finished Series 3, so that won't apply to me, but I think that might help out the new players in the long run. Shop update. Cards can now be acquired from the shop in 2 different sections. Choose your card. Series 3 cards have been separated into their own shop section. Instead of purchasing one Series 3 card a month with tokens, players can now choose one Series 3 card to unlock each month for free. So save your tokens for Series 4 and Series 5. I kind of like that a little bit better than the way it was before, and I kind of wish I would be able to experience it. Might just have to make a new account just to see what I like better. But I do think this is better in the long run. Being able to save up the tokens for the much more valuable Series 4 and Series 5 cards, for the most part more valuable anyway, because so many of them are just so powerful. Your Galactuses, your Thanos. But we're going to talk about those cards a little bit later anyway. And now the token shop only contains Series 4, Series 5, and Ultimate variants. So it's going to be a very different token shop altogether. The way you choose your card and the token shop are completely reformatted, and hopefully for the better. All right, we got some general updates. These are the cards that are dropping from series to series. So Zabu, Sauron, Shana, Dazzler, and Shadow King have all been dropped from Series 5 to Series 4. So now all of these cards will now cost 3,000 collector tokens. Now Series 4 to Series 3, this is interesting, especially for me. So M'Baku, Orca, and Atuma are now all Series 3 cards. Now I currently receive like 500 collector's tokens, 400 collector's tokens because I finished Series 3. But now Orca, which is a card I don't have yet, is going to be Series 3. Am I going to be grandfathered into those caches, or do I have to wait to get Orca now so that I can go back to the way it was? How is that going to work for a player like me? When you tap on a card for more details during a match, the big card detail screen now features artist credits and card mods. I think that's pretty cool. I think that being able to credit the artist is always an amazing thing. So kudos to them for adding that feature into the game. Got some new audio, new card sounds for Thanos, Nimrod, Master Mold, Teenage Warhead, and location sounds for Morag and Bar Sinister. I'm with it. I want as much flair as possible for this game. The almighty Thanos now has VFX along with all of the Infinity Stones. I kind of feel like he should have started with that, but hey, better late than never. That makes sense. It's literally Marvel Snap. All right, we have some balance updates as well. Here we go. The unscheduled changes to Zabu and Silver Surfer made the metagame shifts for last month more difficult for us to predict, and we weren't able to make timely adjustments for technical reasons. In that time, Thanos became one of our most dominant decks yet. His weak matchups versus Zabu and Surfer had been really holding the Mad Titan back. Shuri-based decks were another big winner here, and both of these archetypes have exceeded our tolerances for game balance. Yeah, I would say so. I think that adds up. This patch's adjustments are aimed at restoring order and weakening each of them. We're continuing to explore updates and improvements to both our balance technology and our philosophy around scheduling changes, and we look forward to sharing that with you soon. I'm with it. Hey, I'm all on board for making making Shuri a little less powerful and making Thanos a little bit less powerful. I have neither of those cards, so I never got to experience the joy of climbing with 2 of the most broken decks in the game. So I'm all for it, and then if and when I finally get those cards, it's going to be super lackluster because it's not going to matter as much. Alright, Thanos went from a 6'11 to a 6'10. We increased his power in a previous patch that was built during a time when Zabu and Silver Surfer were suppressing the success of Thanos-based decks. We're happy to keep him at 9+ for Shang-Chi, but given his recent success, we thought it would be appropriate to pull back on that buff just a touch. So Thanos himself received a very minor nerf, but I don't think that's the most important thing here. It's not only Thanos that got nerfed, but Space Stone and also Quinjet, which is very prevalent, and of course all of the Thanos decks has received a nerf as well. Let's take a look at that. Space Stones on reveal next turn, you can move 1 card at this location, draw a card. On reveal, next turn, you can move one card to this location, draw a card. This is among the strongest stones in the Thanos deck due to its ability to create bonus lockjaw triggers and disguise where strong cards might move. This change reduces its efficacy with lockjaw by removing the incentive to play Space Stone itself for a lockjaw trigger, flattening the number of bonus trigger opportunities for lockjaw, and restricting the strategic options for late game movement. Yes, absolutely yes. Lockjaw, Thanos, Quinjet, all that stuff. 100% the problem. Thanos himself as a card, he should be a big card. He should be a monster of a card, right? And now he's going to be as big as Infinite, and I think that still makes sense. Making him the 6'10" isn't really the point. I think it's all the stuff surrounding the deck that makes it as problematic as it is. So I think this is a good change. All right, Quinjet now reduces cost to a minimum of 1. Cost reduction is powerful, and Quinjet was one of very few cards capable of reducing multiple cards' energy to 0. While we've enjoyed this interaction in some cases, such as the Hood's Demon, ultimately it creates both an ongoing risk for future design space, as well as fueling the dominant Thanos deck. Yeah, of course. Of course. So now Quinjet only reducing the cost to a minimum of 1. I think that is going to be better for the game overall. Reducing cards to being free is just, I think, too powerful in a game like Marvel Snap, where you can just create some of the most chaotic, busted situations with free cards. I mean, even She-Hulk can't technically be free unless you have like Limbo. So I don't think that was ever a good thing for the game. Was it fun to pull off? Sure, yeah, I'm all for having fun with busted stuff, but I think for the sake of long term, I think this is a good change. All right, Red Skull going from a 5/15 with enemy cards at this location have +2 power to a 5/13, and enemy cards at this location have +1 power. So I think this is a change that we saw that was similar to what fellow content creator Regis Kilbin may have talked about in a recent video, where he might have nerfed him even a little bit less than that, and maybe nerfed the ongoing effect just a little bit. And I think this is a good change for the card, because getting him all the way up to 30 with Shuri was kind of nuts, and now he could still get up to maybe 26, which is still pretty big for the card. And I like the ongoing change as well. She-Hulk going from a 6'10 to a 6'9, I like that as well. Having her be a 9 so that she can be destroyed by Shang-Chi, I think is still a good change. And the -1 power is going to make her, you know, an 18 when she gets doubled instead of a 20. So overall, I think that makes sense. And they didn't change the way that she's played either. She still has the same effect, where however much leftover energy you have is, you know, applied to her total cost. So I think that's probably fine. I don't really see a problem with that. Hopefully she's not as prevalent because of this. All right, we have Arrow getting her 5/8 back, so she's gonna have +1 power, and now move the last enemy card played to this location. Very interesting. So now only one card that is played is going to be moved on turn 5 or turn 6 whenever Arrow is dropped, instead of the entire board. And I think that's also a better change. I'm really happy to hear that one. Arrow is a tricky card for us. The actual game balance for Arrow has been healthy, and she fulfills a vital role in our game by providing interaction, especially against dangerously polarizing cards like Galactus. Arrow can be frustrating to see, denying players the option to play their own endgames. This change seeks to keep Arrow strong where she's needed, foster more competition among 5-cost cards, and add counterplay to make her more fun to play against. Yes, I think having the option to move a card still provides a ton of value, and also there's more counterplay now to the very strong option of Arrow, where it's just like, hey, I'm winning 2 locations, I play Arrow on the location I'm losing, and that's that, and you can have it, and then here's free 4/8 cubes just because I had priority on turn 6. Not very fun, pretty lackluster if anything. And having done it and having been on the receiving end, I can definitely say this change is better for the game overall. Okay, this is a very interesting one, and I'm kind of looking forward to this one. Mystique, Absorbing Man, and Taskmaster. These cards now require the previously played card to be in play in order to copy its attributes. So that goes for Mystique, Absorbing Man, and Taskmaster. If on turn 4 you play a Typhoid Mary, and then on turn 5 you Taskmaster it, but the opponent had priority on turn 5 and they killed the Typhoid Mary with a Shang-Chi, and the Taskmaster comes out, then there's no Typhoid Mary 10 power card to take, and the Taskmaster will just be empty, and that's gonna change a lot. that is going to change a ton for this game. And I think this is going to be a very interesting change. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad just yet. I could see myself getting got by this. And I'm not sure it's going to make me very happy when it happens to me. But overall, I like this change because it's going to provide some variety for the game. Okay, big change from Morbius here. Morbius's power no longer updates in hand or in deck, only at a location. We previously adjusted Morbius's power to update when he wasn't in play to simplify calculating his future power. However, it's proven a bit confusing in comparison to using similar cards, and also unnecessary given Morbius is often played very early in the game and isn't very hard to calculate. We're reverting this change, but we expect to add future functionality to Morbius and all cards with ongoing buffs to their own power that communicates their power, in order to make these cards simpler to play with. Yeah, I think that makes sense for Morbius. It's 2-drop, you usually play it right on turn 2, and that's pretty much that. So no further needed clarification on that one. And this looks like it's also going to apply to Null too, and I think that also makes sense. And that is it for all of the main card updates here for Marvel Snap. What do you think of this update? Do you like these changes? Do you think they're good for the game? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and here are 5 tips to help you get better at Marvel Snap.